Good evening, race fans, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Area 51 Thursday Gen 4 series here on Green White Checker TV. Another exciting week in the Gen 4 series here that I cannot personally wait to bring to you guys, but we've got 70 laps tonight at Talladega Superspeedway, and I've got my friend Matt Wagner with me here in the booth. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Talladega, really? In these cars? Uh, I can't wait to see this one go down. How you doing there, bud? It's great to be here. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I know you've been on at least the Thursday broadcasts, but it's good to have you back. And always appreciate seeing you on track or seeing you here in the booth. Obviously, I was
Oh,
covering last Sunday and got to see you. Well, unfortunately, not have the race you probably wanted, but glad to have you here
yeah.
and calling the action on Thursday nights with us.
Yeah, better than being on track right now. Better than the Lotus 79. So, it's a little bit more calmer up here, and hopefully these guys will put on a show for us. And well,
Yeah, I
kind of
think
interested to see how we can go here.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see a pretty cool show here, regardless. Definitely an opportunity for just about anybody in the field tonight with the Super Speedway style of racing that we have here. But we'll take to the grid here in just a second as cars are getting on track, and we are gonna pull up that starting lineup for you tonight. All right, so it is the 25 machine of Kevin Freese who has grabbed that pole for the evening. Sebastian Marin, teammate just to his outside in that number 23 machine. He is going to be on the outside of row number one. Bud Steele, a regular in the Sunday series for the Super Speedway drivers that we have here on Green White Checker TV and Area 51. He's going to start P3 tonight, second row there. Joshua Hanner of Closed Circuit Racing to his outside in row number two in that number two machine. Gabe Butler there in that number five machine, and Steve Karosik will make up your third row for the evening. Ryan Decker and Brandon Bernhardt making up the fourth row this evening, and your top 10 will be rounded out by Vicente Guerrero and Austin Call. So we got a couple guys that are regulars from Thursday, or sorry, excuse me, Sunday nights that are over here tonight. So Vicente Guerrero being another one of those. Glad to see him join us on Thursday nights, and we have Zachary Lima, not sure there, but in the number 26 machine, he is on the inside of row number 6 with Eric Laurie to his outside. Next page of the grid we'll bring up here, and we've got Nate Warren there in that number 99 machine starting 13th on the evening. Brandon Paul, the number 3 car, is going to be starting in the outside of row number 7. David Overstreet rounds up the top 15 with Ryan Kelly in that number 13 machine. First car electing not to take a qualifying time on that outside of row 8. And then the rest of these guys will be set by iRacing, or iRating, I should say. So James Ledford and Dude Conrad not taking a time again, but starting 17th and 18th, followed by Gael Brooks and Chris Passini. Jim Brooks and Bob Fitzgerald on row number 11. We have Carl Henderson and Adam Kilday in 24th. I think we've got one more as well. I'm showing that Dude Conrad may not have started the race, and it doesn't look like I got Maxwell
Yeah.
Caldwell in the order too, but he's not starting, I don't believe. So Adam Kilday will be shotgun on the field for the evening.
Yeah, I'm showing 24 cars here. Excuse me.
All right, and looks like we got a bit of an issue with trading paints. Can't see those beautiful paint schemes, so we'll try and get that sorted out. We're rolling off of the grid. Sounds like we're going to have about 37 laps here on fuel. So for the most part, it's probably going to be a one-stop show with 70 laps on the docket. So we'll see if it does go green. It's definitely going to be an interesting race. Definitely going to have at least one of those green flag pit stops tonight. But who knows? Maybe there's some strategy where you can pit under a caution about halfway through the race and not have to come down under yellow flag conditions, but we'll have to wait and see how that all unfolds here tonight, Matt.
Yeah, there's a couple of faces I've seen in different leagues here, and one being Zachary Lima. You might might not know about him very much. He is a restrictor plate expert, as you would say. A very good guy. You'll be seeing him more toward the front as we go out through the day.
Quite a few drivers in this field tonight that have that Super Speedway experience. Obviously, Gabe Butler has won quite a few championships on the Sunday night and the former Thursday night Super Speedway series. So they've got two teammates. His two teammates, Kevin Freese and Sebastian Marin, at the front of the pack are going to be strong all night long as well. So have to watch for those guys and see how it shakes out. But there's definitely a lot of guys in this field tonight that have the opportunity to try and grab a win on this Thursday series as we roll through the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. First lap of 70 underway for the evening.
Man, these cars sound good.
Yes, they do. Yeah, it's, I mean, I know I've talked about it with just about everybody else who's broadcasted with me this season, but definitely a lot of nostalgia here with these Gen 4 machines from the early 2000s. I mean, that was most of my childhood rooting on Dale Jr. as a kid, and I'm assuming you have similar feelings as well. So
yeah, yes, sir. I grew up watching his old man racing these cars. Well, kind of, sort of, before he passed. But yeah, it was still there. But it was quite a bit of experience watching that when I was a kid. I loved it. Well, for me, I'm not that very good at these plate racers. These cars, they really don't like to be bumped up toward the front. These cars, you really have to be patient throughout the day. It's not like the Xfinity car where you can just tag onto the bumper and push on it all day long, and the key is gonna be stay close to your guys. You gotta have that 3-car draft here. Having 3 cars, one behind you, one in the middle, and one in front is going to be key to winning this race. Oh, we got a spinner right on the bottom of the track. That is bad steal. Yeah, he got right on the apron at exit turn number 4.
Yep, let's see if we can take a look at that here. Not quite finding that here. Okay, here we go. Should be able to grab a replay here. But still, do you see down on the apron there, trying to get back up on the track, and unfortunately gets a little bit loose as it's really difficult to keep those tires. You see that left rear tire all the way off the ground, no load on it. Really hard to balance there and get that car settled down back onto the banking. So the 10's going to go for a spin pretty much by itself here, it looks like, Matt. Maybe a little bit of, I take it back, a little bit of contact there towards the end with the 51 machine as well as the 41 machine, or 47 machine, I believe. No, the 41 machine of Adam Kilday, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with my trading paints as well. It's kind of not a good day for us.
Apparently, we'll try and work on getting that figured out. We apologize for the inconvenience right now, but as of right now, Sebastian Marin actually had the lead at the point of caution, so put him ahead of the field. Steve Karosek is currently in second place with Joshua Hanner, Zachary Lima, and Kevin Freese, your current top 5. 4 laps in, Matt. Is it worth coming down to get some fuel and or tires right now?
Yes, every chance you get. I would expect a lot, probably about 95% of the field to come in and top off, and that's about it.
As you see there, most of the field coming down, getting service. Looks like everybody so far is making their way down. And again, we'll apologize for the continued issues with trading paints, but like we said, we'll work on getting that working in the background. But it sounds like, Matt, that's not working for you either right now. So who knows? Maybe Trading Paints is down across the board. But so we'll see. A lot of guys with some splash and go. Looks like Gabe Butler and Ryan Decker came down pit road, but did not take any service. But that's everybody in the field on pit road that time by. So Steve Karosik's going to jump one spot above Sebastian Marin into third place. Sebastian Marin now will be in fourth place as they roll off behind them is Zachary Lima, Joshua Hanner, and Gael Brooks, who also did not pit that time by. So Gael there going to move up quite a few spots there on that yellow just by rolling through pit road. I guess I would assume some of these guys that are pitting this time are probably going to try, the ones who, came through pit road but did not pit this time are probably going to try and grab fuel this time by. I believe that is a penalty if you were to come down the second lap but not the first lap. So maybe a little bit of showing their cards or showing their hands by doing that, but definitely gives them that opportunity to have options if they want to come back down and get fuel this time, because every single lap of fuel definitely makes a difference here, Matt.
Oh yeah, 100%. We'll see probably about 50% of these guys come in, take a little top off, and majority of you guys will be a single file restart. I got my Trading Paints to work. We're good over here.
Coming back through this time by, looks like Gabe Butler and not Zachary Lima, Ryan Decker there as well. Gael Brooks, Kevin Freese, Brandon Bernhardt, Austin Call, Ryan Kelly, Bob Fitzgerald, all going to grab that extra fuel here on this second lap.
Told you so.
Yep, that's going to leave Steve Karosik out front with Sebastian Marin, Zachary Lima, Joshua Hanner, and Vicente Guerrero there. Pretty much a split, almost an even split on the field. 11 drivers staying out, and another 11 drivers pitting that time by. Adam Kilday pit on the last lap the last lap under caution there, and was repairing quite a bit of damage. He's got about a minute and 28 seconds of repairs on that pit stop, so trying not to burn that fast repair early on. Hopefully he can keep with the pack and not get put a lap down, but it's going to be fairly single file as you mentioned here, because everyone from 12th on back is going to be single file, so hopefully it'll be a pretty quiet restart here.
It should be fine. You got a lot of racing to go. It's only just the beginning. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah.
front of everybody, but we'll have to wait and see what happens as the 27 continues to lead on this restart here.
Dang, I gotta start racing these cars. They sound just too good.
They do sound pretty good. There's definitely, I mean, there's a lot of decent amount of horsepower with these cars, but that's, I don't know, it's a very nostalgic engine note. Almost, man, shoot, back in those days, probably almost like 11,000 RPMs that they were running. It was pretty high. Those tacks would go quite a ways, so it's definitely fun to hear these cars roar.
Anyway, we got some cars on the outside. Looks like Ryan Decker, and who is that back there? Is that the 25?
Yeah, it looks like Ryan Decker and the 25 of Kevin Freese all the way on the outside lane right now. They're getting that 3-wide action going. There's a couple cars back there as well trying to get themselves up into the mix. Not as easy to call out without paint schemes. I apologize greatly still for that, but we'll call it out here.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Ryan Decker continues to make some headway on the outside lane, and got Django chiming in. Oh, there's a big one. The 2-car gets turned sideways. That's going to be our second wreck of the season, or of the season. Yeah, no, not the season. Tonight for sure, but maybe not the season. All right, let's see if we can bring up that replay here real quick, but it looks like the 2 of Joshua Hanner involved, and quite a bit more.
That looked like almost like a little bit of neck code there. With Sebastian Marin.
Yeah, Sebastian Marin, the 2-car. We'll back it up. We don't have a great point to restart from, but that was live there. We'll try and take you back a little bit further and see if we can get a good replay of that for you here. So keep an eye on Sebastian Marin, that number 23 machine in the middle of this pack. 27 of Steve Karosik just in front of him. Joshua Hanner in the 2 behind them. Outside lane was the 48 of Decker and Freese in that 25 machine. And we will see what happened here coming out of the corner, as it looked like there was just a bit of a push there from the 2 machine and got the 23 car a little bit upset. Unfortunately, it's going to collect the 99 machine as well. The 071, the green car, getting a little bit of damage there. Looks like the 27 might have been involved, and the 81 is involved as well, as the 2 machine goes for a wild ride upside down on the lid of that machine there. Man, definitely a big one here, as he's going to barrel roll all the way down the backstretch at Talladega.
I'm not going to lie, but even though the 23 had a little bit of help saving the car, that was pretty good at keeping that point straight.
Yeah, that was definitely a big moment there, but we're going to jump back live, as it looks like most of our leaders are making their way down pit road. Zachary Lima now leading the field. Vicente Guerrero, Steve Karosik, Ryan Decker, pretty much the entire field. Yep, everybody is on pit road this time by. And another yellow, another opportunity to get some fresh tires. And a couple drivers rolling through pit road that you'll see here, probably looking to pit on that second time around.
You only.
Yep, a little bit of fuel. We do see, no, there's a couple guys. Sebastian Marin's repairing damage. Bud Steele also repairing damage. Brandon Bernhardt repairing damage. Nate Warren damage. Ryan Kelly damage. James Ledford is damaged, getting repairs. Chris Patini, Bob Fitzgerald, and Adam Kilday all taking some extended time on pit road, unfortunately. So going to try not to burn that fast repair early. One driver who had to burn his fast repair was Joshua Hanner there. Pretty much nothing to do there with how damaged he had, or how damaged his car was after that incident. We are going to take a step away for a moment here and see what we can do to fix these paints. So we're going to go, we'll let you guys ride along on the caution view here, and we'll be back in just a moment. And we are just about ready here to get back underway as drivers will make their way through the gears back. Green flag action on lap number 12 here at Talladega. So 2 early cautions here right now, or so far in this one. What are you expecting to see as we continue on through this race, Matt? Do you think it's going to settle in, or is it pretty much going to be chaos for the rest of the way?
Well, you never know with this group here. For me, experience-wise, this is far yet from over. You're going to see some of the guys who are running up front that are running in the back are going to start to march their way forward. Like old Sebastian Marin.
Yeah, there's definitely quite a few guys that are going to make their way towards the front of the pack, but as of right now, it is Zachary Lima there at the front of the field. He is making his way. He is in the middle lane, actually now, the 26 machine being pushed by the 27 of Steve Karosik there. The inside lane being led by Kevin Fries in that number 25 machine. And third lane starting to form there on the outside as you see Austin Call finally get to see him in that beautiful Tide ride. And he's trying to make his way to the front of the pack with the 48 machine on his tail right now, but it's the 68 machine on the inside line with the 25. And the 26 and 27 hooked up in the middle lanes, and the 64 and 48 on the outside right now. A couple more cars still continuing to download here. You'll get to see those beautiful paint schemes, all of them in just a moment. You see a few of them there. Vicente Guerrero with that beautiful Old Spice car. We haven't actually seen that one yet this season, so get a chance to highlight that one now that we can actually see these paint schemes. Some good-looking cars out here.
Hey, if I could take a gander. Oh, man. That wolf scheme like that sounds so familiar. If I can think of the driver, in chat, if you guys can figure that one out. I think it's Steve Grissom? I don't know. I can't remember.
Which paint scheme?
The one that Ryan Decker has got.
Oh, gotcha. In that number 48 machine. I do not recognize that car at all, honestly. I'm not entirely sure. Don't know if I've seen that one before, but we'll see. Looks like, I don't know if, we don't have Zachary Lima's car loading just yet, but Steve Karosik there is pushing him in the middle, so it's the 26, 27, and the 28 in that middle lane as Carl Henderson now joins the chat in that middle lane, and no, just kidding, it's going to be the 27 ducking down in front of the 25 machine, so we are still 3 wide here at the front of this pack as Carl Henderson has a handful there in that middle lane. 64 machine of Austin Call and the 48 machine of Ryan Decker there, still working on that outside lane as they're going to bail now and drop back to just about 2 wide there. So definitely a couple strategies. We see these guys kind of mixing it up here in the mid-pack. And then quite a ways back, we've got a couple more cars kind of just barely in the back of this mix here. And then we've got the rest of the field. Most of them are single file here towards the back of the pack, just kind of waiting for maybe something else to happen. But we'll have to wait and see as they pretty much settle in single file here. Everyone's pretty much with the draft. Looks like James Ledford there has lost the draft now at this point in that number 11 machine. And Nate Warren here even further off the pace, still nursing some damage from that previous wreck there, it looks like.
Actually, I had to look for that one up. That was actually Jeff Purvis. Wow, that brings back some memories.
Yeah, definitely. When what era was that?
That was actually this era, but it was about mid-2003, 2002.
Okay. Man, I don't know why I don't remember that at all.
I was in the NASCAR Busch Series when it was...
Oh, okay. That could be
yes.
why. Yeah.
Yes. But even though that wolf scheme is giving that big old 64 a nice little shove to the front here, I'm probably looking for that outside maybe to take the lead coming down the back straight here.
We'll have to wait and see. Apologies again for the reset of the cars. Most of them are coming back, but they were white for a second there. Just trying to refresh, see if we can get a copy of that number 26 paint scheme. But I don't believe he is actually running one there tonight. But that middle lane still fairly dominant as Steve Karosik continues to lead the field around here. The 26 of Zachary Lima just behind him. Sebastian Marin has now found himself the third car in that middle lane. So we see some blinking there out of that number 3 car in the outside lane. Beautiful nod to the 2004 Dale Jr. race winning paint scheme there. Unfortunately, having some internet connectivity issues, but on that inside lane, as you'll see, the 27, just the 27 dropped down, wasn't clear. The 26 wasn't clear, so he did not drop down in front of that 25, but the 27 and the 25 now lined up on that inside lane. David Overstreet third in line at this point on that inside line. Continuing to lead that outside line now is Zachary Lima with Sebastian Marin, Austin Call, and the 48 of Ryan Decker.
No, it's not a familiar sight to see the 26 up toward the front. I know he does have his teammate on the outside there, the 27, is Steve Korosek there. It could be those two going to be really hard to pass here.
We'll have to wait and see, but as of right now, they are controlling both the inside and the outside of this super speedway race, as we are working on lap number 20 of the scheduled 70 here tonight. Yeah, so we're looking at it right now. We've actually got 4 Team Bootnaka drivers, 2 each in each lane. So those drivers are definitely controlling both lanes right now. The 27, the 25 on the inside, the 26 and the 23 on the middle lane right now. Nobody really working the top, except for the closed circuit racing teammates of Chris Piscini and Joshua Hanner. So Joshua Hanner is the pick of race fan Chris Matthews in the chat. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, have to wait and see how these guys do. But they're starting to make a little bit of work there in the outside lane, trying to get something going.
Yeah, that's. They're gonna need that third car. Once they have that third car right behind them, I think they're gonna be easily taking the lead here.
We will have to wait and see. So far, 2 cars is working just as well. For a couple car lengths ahead of them, we've got Austin Call and the 48 again of Ryan Decker. I believe he's changed numbers there because
yeah, I'm seeing a little bit. The 1 and 2 machines have found each other.
Yep. Teammates there. They're catching the 48 machine though, so now they're gonna have 4 cars in that outside lane, and we've got a parking lot here at 200 miles an hour at Talladega Superspeedway. Traffic jam at 200 miles an hour, I should say.
Nice to see this car at over 200. NASCAR, if you're listening, please bring it back.
There you see the speeds here on Austin Call right now on that high lane, 198 miles an hour down the backstretch, gonna just barely encroach over 200 as they send it off into turn number 3. 202, 203 with the draft.
204.
Love to see it slow down a little bit as they get into the corners, but definitely quite a bit of speed here at Talladega with these older series cars.
I'm looking for Chris Piscini here, just sitting there biding his time, just waiting for something to happen. Yeah. On that outside line.
In a good position so far, as the 27 is now going to move up to work with the 26 machine in that middle lane.
Yep.
Try and maybe control that outside lane, not sure.
But that third lane is trying to get there.
There are some good battles going on here as we continue to work 3 wide, 4 rows deep. A little bit of a settle in here moment as we continue to go green for a couple laps here now that we've had some chaos out of the way as a couple wobbles. These cars have a little bit of a handful here at Talladega Superspeedway, where typically handling doesn't mean too much, but you got to have some bit of handling with these cars. Nowadays, handling almost means absolutely nothing at Superspeedways, but in this generation of car, it definitely makes a big difference. So Excited to
yeah.
see those guys here having to work, install the wheel just a little bit here, as we're going to be 3 wide trying to pass a lap car. We'll see how this
Almost
goes. Off
a
of
little bit
turn
of
number 4.
contact.
99 in the wall.
I'm sorry, a little bit of contact between this. Looks like the 68 and the 14. And it looks like a 14 had to get off the throttle there, but we stay green.
Yeah, that's going to jump up the pack just a little bit here. The 68 and the 48, 64 and the 48, excuse me, still working on the high lane as the 26 and the 23 continue to battle in the middle, with the 27 of Steve Karosik controlling that inside lane with partner Kevin Freese behind him, as well as they're starting to get a little bit more organized. Vicente Guerrero is going to make a move to the outside with, it looks like, the 11 machine, no, the 41 machine, excuse me. That is Adam Kilday there on the outside, so the 14 and the 41 trying to make their way towards the front of this pack on that outside third lane. Definitely seems like that's going to be what it's going to take to get up to the front there, is making that lane work well for you. I mean, I definitely feel like that's going to be probably a race-winning strategy to be able to figure that out.
It looks like two cars just doing just nicely on that outside line. Look, 23 and this 26 are holding pretty steady out there. Usually I would think that they would fall back without that car behind them, without that push.
Yeah, so far so good. Ooh, bit of a bobble there. Big pushes from the 41, and the 14's got to hold on to it, but they're making good headway.
Nice save by Vince. Yeah, a couple close calls. It's real nice.
Really cool to see these guys 3 wide all the way throughout the racetrack. Lots of space here at Talladega Superspeedway to have some fun.
Yeah, we got a little bit of contact here. Looks like save it. No, nope. They're gonna
a little bit of a yellow here.
Ow.
They're still continuing to rack. Man, there's at least, I think, 10 cars.
Adam almost had that save for momentarily, and he just finally lost it.
Playing with the static cameras there as you saw that action unfold. We'll bring it back to a replay here, though, for you. As it looks like Adam Kilday may have been the one to kick this all off. At least he's the one who made the first contact from what I could see.
So what I saw was it looked like Lima came up the track a little bit. Yeah. Either that or the 14 came down a little bit. But it looks like more of the 26 came up the track and hit the 14, and that's what pretty much set it all off.
Trying to get that replay, but unfortunately it's just after the action started, so we'll just take a chance to rewind here and then play it back for you guys at quarter speed here. So we'll see. Looks like
you gotta put the replay on the 64.
We'll do that in just a moment here as you see it in slow motion starting to unfold. Big push there for the, not really a push, but it looks like there's a bit of a netcode there between the 14 and this 26, kind of a racing deal where 14 came down a little bit, 26 came up a little bit, and unfortunately the 26 machine making a lot of contact there with the 41 on the outside of the track, and that's going to send him the 26 right into Carl Henderson on the inside lane. See if Guile Brooks gets it checked up enough. The 48's going to make it through okay, it looks like, as that 41 continued to ride up the track. Unfortunately, gonna maybe grab a little bit of the 64, but he's actually gonna grab some of the wall. 071 of Eric Laurie just barely gets into that left rear there, and I think that's gonna kick off a lot of the other issues we saw at the end of this. But looks like Guile Brooks and Chris Piscini there on that inside lane were able to get around this okay, and you see the 81 of Brandon Bernhardt there just barely sliding through, it looks, at the end, but we'll take it back and see if we can watch that from Austin Call's perspective here from the moment of caution. Oh, grabbed the wrong one, but we'll see. See if we watch it here. Right in front of us, it'll unfold for Austin Call. As you see cars going left and right, crashing pretty much all over the place. 41's going to come back up the track here and collected a couple more drivers as the 64 machine. Looks like he avoided contact with that car there on the inside. Did scrape the wall just a little bit there, maybe. But that was a great ride for Austin Call. Great way to get through that wreck.
That was very close.
Yes, it was. All right, so we'll check in live here as it looks like we got a couple drivers coming down pit road this last time by. And we'll watch that as it looks like Vicente Guerrero is going to be the first car on pit lane. 27, 25, the 48, the 68, the 23, all on pit lane just a moment ago. They have all received their service, but we'll keep an eye and watch on this as a replay for now. Some of the guys at the back of the pack, you see Jim Brooks there, 51 machine, currently in 9th position coming onto pit road. Carl Henderson taking probably a fast repair there, I would assume, from that damage. And Ryan Decker was the first car out, followed by Gael Brooks. Steve Karosek was the third car off of pit road, and he just barely beats Austin Call and the 68 of David Overstreet to the line there. So that is your top 5 as we'll jump back live to the pace laps and get prepared to be back underway here as the lights are still on the pace car. So we got one more lap to go before we'll go back green. All right, Matt, we are about almost close to halfway. We're definitely through at least a third of the way through. Yeah, this one tonight. What are your thoughts so far in this one tonight at Talladega Superspeedway?
It's aggression, and people want to lead the race. I would be the same way. Some people have got to be patient, but pretty soon Steven has taken his race by storm and staying up front, and that's what you got to do to win a race, of course, but he's doing a fine job.
Yeah, definitely can be some wild opportunities here at
Talladega.
But it's a lot of fun to watch these guys race around here. Yeah, when you got the stream deck, you got to use it. But yeah, like you said, Steve Karosik so far really been the class of the field. He's been leading the inside lane, the outside lane, the middle lane. He's done a little bit of it all so far, and looking pretty good doing it. Obviously, a lot of these Team Bootnaka drivers have a lot of experience on the Super Speedway series that we have run here in the past at Area 51, so cool to see those guys showing us what they do best. But we've had quite a few others in the mix tonight. Austin Call's had a very solid night. He finds himself currently in 2nd place. David Overstreet there in 4th. Jim Brooks, a little bit of a pit strategy there. He's up to 6th right now, so he's going to throw his name in the hat to mix it up at the front of this pack. Carl Henderson currently up 16 spots. Our highest climber at the moment in P7 for that number 28 Texaco Havoline machine, as Joshua Hanner there currently in 8th place right now in that number 2 machine. So it's gonna be a good battle here. At this point, it's still a one-stop race. I don't think anybody can make it all the way to the end. So most of these drivers just taking the time to take in as much fuel and tires as they can, and we'll have to wait and see when they will make that final pit stop, if it will be under yellow or under green flag conditions. But either way, will be green flag in just a moment as the pace car is going to duck onto pit road, and we're going to watch these drivers again drive through that tri-oval, get ready to get to that Geico restart zone at the end of the tri-oval, and take the green flag into turn number 1 to restart on lap 31. Matt, I think it's an opportunity here. Maybe we can watch some static cameras and do a little crank it up. What you think?
Let it rip.
All right. Listen to the sounds of these engines roar. Sometimes as a broadcaster, you need to know when it is a good opportunity to talk and when it is a good opportunity to listen. And it is beautiful listening to the engine of these Gen 4 Series Cup cars.
Dude, I kind of worked on my camera angles a little bit. It's kind of reminds me of, back in the day where I used to go here. So much fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
You missed out.
So we saw there on that restart there, Kevin Freese driving around the outside of the 64 of Austin Call to take that lead spot away. That's going to put the 64 machine second in line on that inside. As of right now, it's the 23 of Sebastian Marin being pushed by the 81 of Brandon Bernhardt in the middle of the pack in that middle lane. On the high side, though, Joshua Hanner is starting to move his way towards the front of the pack, as well as the 88 machine of Gabe Butler. We are 3 wide, at least 3 rows deep. The 41 machine there of Adam Kilday getting back in line. Now he is the second car on that outside lane as Joshua Hanner, makes a move from the top to the bottom to go to the front of the pack. He is going to take over the lead and lead this lap, it looks like. What a move.
You got to put yourself in position to win there, Boomer.
It's definitely early, but it's never too early to try and take control of a super speedway race. So what a move for that number 2 machine as he is going to lead that last lap, last time by, and we are halfway through this one at the end of this lap. Ooh, there a little bit of a bump from the 88 and the 2 machine as the 88's going to find himself at the front of the middle lane at the moment with teammate Sebastian Marin pushing him. On the outside there, looks like it's Adam Kilday back to the front of the pack with the 48 machine of Ryan Decker pushing him. On the inside, it's still Joshua Hanner, though, with the 25 of Kevin Freese and Austin Call behind them. Fourth in line on the inside lane is Steve Karosik. He's currently in the 9th position. He spent most of his race up here in the front of the pack as Vicente Guerrero finds himself in the top 10 now as well, as Brandon Paul in that number 3 machine all the way third car now in that high lane. We've got a pretty solid pack here at the middle of this race here, Matt.
Oh yeah. Being over halfway here to go. Drivers are not going to be patient. You're probably going to say 3 wide for the rest of this race.
Yeah, we're going to have to, we're going to see a lot of this action, I would expect, for the rest of this one here. But so far, kind of thinning out a little bit there as the 88 machine of Gabe Butler has now taken over the lead in that middle lane, and Sebastian Marin just behind him. They are clear of the front of the pack, or clear in the front of the pack, clear of that front lane, and it looks like the 81 of Brandon Bernhardt may even break away here, as no, it looks like Joshua Hanner going to continue his run back up to the front. Now he's even with the 23 machine. The 88's going to drop down to pick up that inside line, and once again, it's some of the teammates running together tonight with Team Bootnaka Esports to try and control the inside and the outside lane at that same time. Appreciate each and every one of you watching the broadcast right now. If you're rooting for any drivers in particular, drop it in the chat. Oh, we got a big wreck here as the 68's going to go around. 68 to 28 involved.
Boy.
We were settling into a nice green flag run there. Fortunately, yellow strikes once again as the 4th caution is going to fly tonight. Let's see if we can pull up that replay for you here. Off of turn number 2, where we've had multiple incidents. You see there the 28 machine getting loose off the nose of the 28 of Carl Henderson. Contact with the 64 of Austin Call on the inside. The 48 machine gets turned around as well of Ryan Decker. Looks like Jim Brooks in that number 51 machine as well, making some contact, unfortunately. And the 11 of James Ledford sideways there collects it, but he's got a car behind him there, and looks like that's Kilday again in that 41 machine going for a little bit of a ride, but keeps it saved and moving forward. So looks like for the most part only 4 or 5 cars involved, but the heaviest damage probably from that 28 machine that you see there in the background. Definitely a lot of damage for Carl Henderson on the front of that one. Hopefully no engine damage for him.
Hopefully he hasn't used a spare car yet.
Yeah, we'll see. With 4 wrecks, it's definitely an opportunity where I know at least a couple guys have taken that fast repair. I'm trying to remember who, but as of right now, it's escaping me. I knew at one point who was or had already taken those fast repairs, but yeah, hard to keep up sometimes, especially with all of the chaos and action. But we're going to have to wait and see if anybody is going to be a taker on pit road, and it looks like it's just going to be Vicente Guerrero faking us out just a little bit there, as Austin Call is going to make his way the first car down pit road. Chris Bassini, Gael Brooks. It looks like Gael's gotten through most of these now unscathed. Ryan Kelly as well towards the back of the pack in that Dale Jr. throwback paint scheme. Then you see the damage for that number 68 machine of David Overstreet. Getting lots of repairs to his car as he continues to sit on pit road there. Back up at the front of the pack, though, on track, it's Sebastian Marin at the front of this one. Gabe Butler just behind him, Josh Hanner in that number 2 machine, Brandon Bernhardt and Vicente Guerrero make up your top 5 at the moment. Kevin Freese in that 6th position. Steve Karosik, Bud Steele, Brandon Paul, Nate Warren, and Zach Lima, your top 11 actually. And Eric Lurie, Chris Bassini, Gael Brooks, and Ryan Kelly round out your top 15 at the moment.
Man, oh man, as the late great Benny Parsons used to say a lot. Uh, this is maybe turned to like a one more stop race. I am not exactly 100% on our feel here.
Yeah, I think we're actually good to go because they're hearing that the drivers are looking at about 30 laps or so, 37 to 38 laps on one tank of fuel. So I would think that means that most of these drivers can go the distance, but we'll have to wait and see if that is the final pit stop of the night. See you chiming in there, Quabi. I'm definitely assuming that Gael has some fuel savings in mind for sure. He is definitely very well known for that. So cool to see you cheering on your brother and your dad here tonight. So thanks for stopping by and supporting the broadcast.
Okay, I do apologize. I had a little bit of microphone issues. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so seems like most of these drivers should be able to make it the distance on fuel for the rest of the way. But we'll see if anybody does decide to pit any more throughout the length of this race. Would assume that you're going to try to avoid it if you can to keep that track position for the rest of the race. But who knows? Could be more action and more yellows on the way that people will have to come down and get service for.
Okay. I have a visitor. Well, watching these cars come up the speed here, it looks like having a first appearance of Gabe Butler toward the front here.
Looks like it so far. Apologies there. Was also having some audio issues myself, but we're back in lap number 42 as we work after the restart here. 88 machine controlling that outside lane. He's being pushed right now by the 81 of Brandon Bernhardt. Kevin Fries, third car in that outside lane. And look at that. Bud Steele finally back up in the mix after having that early issue causing our first caution of the race. But he's back up there in that number 10 machine, third in line in the middle.
Still got a long way to go, my friend.
Yeah, 27 laps is quite a ways here around this 2.65 mile superspeedway for sure. Yeah, see your other note there, Cobby. Appreciate you as well. So no problem. This is definitely a pleasure. I appreciate that your brother, Mr. Gael, there was the one who got me into this, and appreciate all that.
Favorite son is made in the chat.
Yeah, appreciate everything that Gael and your dad do here at Area 51 to keep this league going. So it's definitely a blast. But we've got a banger here as we've got quite a few cars, 3 wide now, 3 lanes deep. And definitely the intensity starting to ramp up as the 27 makes a move from the top shelf to the bottom all the way across. He's going to go promote himself to the lead in front of the 25 machine of Kevin Fries. Wonder if that was a bit of a timed move by teammates there, obviously knowing that the 88 there was a teammate in the middle helping make that happen. I'm not sure, but definitely enough clearance for the 27 to drop from the top to the bottom.
Oh, yeah. He's determined to win this race. He's familiar with these cars. They race these cars every Wednesday night in their other racing league, and he's good to be a contender for about every race here. He's that good.
Definitely a lot of talent towards the front of the pack. Got 25 laps to go as we are working on lap number 45 this time by. I mentioned Steve Karosik back up to the front after spending quite a bit of time up here. Kevin Fries, who was our pole sitter, now finds himself second in line, and a little bit of a breakaway as they've got a gap back now to the 23 of Sebastian Marin and the 88 of Gabe Butler, who are working side by side in third and fourth place respectively, as the outside lane gets a little bit of momentum. A good push from the 81 and the 14 there of Brandon Bernhardt and Vicente Guerrero. The 10 machine of Bud Steele trying to see if he wants to get that third lane started, but not quite going to be there, and he's just kind of working there as actually to take it back now. Looks like the 48 machine of Ryan Decker. Ryan Decker's pretty much spent, I think, almost all race up in that third lane trying to get something going there, Matt.
Yeah, he's trying to make it work. And, if you're going to spend a race trying to learn something, why not try it? You're going to have to find a way to pass these Bootknucker guys and Team Dale Cup. It's going to be hard.
Definitely love to applaud the effort and see what they can do on that high side as the 68 machine's got a good run up there by himself. See how far he can get now. He's actually being pushed by the 41 of Adam Kilday as they are trying to make their way back up towards the front of this pack. Currently now being led by Gabe Butler in that number 88 machine as he jumps down to the bottom. So that is now 4 teammates working together in the inside lane. The 88, the 27, the 25, and the 23 nose to tail. The 81 of Brandon Bernhardt promotes himself to first in line in that middle lane, being pushed now by Vicente Guerrero, who is up to 4th place as they run right now. Joshua Hanner, their 3rd in line. 071 of Eric Laurie, regular in this series, but also regular in our Sunday night Super Speedway series as well. So he's no stranger to these tracks. Has a couple wins himself on the Super Speedways, so making his way towards the front. Just inside of him is that Dale Jr. 2004 Daytona 500 throwback. I'm quite partial to myself, but definitely love seeing all these great throwback paint schemes here as they're followed by the 1 machine of Chris Passini and the 10 machine of Bud Steele here just on the back end of that top 10 right now.
I thought it was 2004.
What did I say? It was 2004.
That's when we won the Daytona 500.
Yeah, that's a 2004 ski. I don't know what I said, but it's supposed to be. I meant 2004. Did I say 05? Oh, no. The 05,
yes, you did.
The 05 one was a similar scheme, but nowhere near as. I can't believe I said that.
Yep. Yes, you'd be fine. You're fine.
I know that as, like, you know, a Dale Jr. fan. Yeah, I should know that, but.
Boo!
Anyway, Gabe Butler. Now we're settling out 2 wide here at the front of this one. Gabe Butler now leading the outside lane as he moves up ahead of Brandon Bernhardt. Vicente Guerrero still 3rd in line there on that outside lane. It's a 27, 25, and 23 all working together on that inside lane so far. And we've got 1 lap car. Looks like that is the 51 of
Jim Brooks.
Jim Brooks, yeah. Unfortunate for him there. Getting caught up in some of those incidents. He's got quite a bit of damage and could not get enough of it repaired on that last pit stop, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's not fun. You can see that nose all dented in.
Oh, I know. It's
plenty of motor damage.
Yeah, it kind of makes you want to hang up your helmet and just go on. But he's going to tough it out.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you know you don't want to burn your fast repair early if you can save it. But if you have to and you get caught into a second caution, you know, there's not really a ton that you can do. So it's a little bit of a risk reward with that, and just it is what it is, whatever it ends up being. So, but Steve Karosik continuing to control this race from the inside lane ahead of his teammates there. The 88 of Gabe Butler controlling the outside lane. Gabe Butler looks like he's going to get that lap led that time by as we now are inside of 20 laps to go. Have to see if the intensity continues to ramp up, if we are going to have any chaos, but looks like for the most part we've got 1 main pack here. There are 20 cars on the lead lap in this group here, trying to see what they can do to grab the win this evening.
We got a little visitor up on that 3rd lane. Looks like David Overstreet. I'm guessing I can't see who's pushing him down over there.
Looks like the 26 machine there of Zachary Lima, who's been fairly quiet through the middle stages of this race. We've seen the 68 trying to make runs by himself on the outside, but now he's got some help as the number 99 of Nate Warren there is just behind them. 3rd car in that outside lane. Definitely within 20 laps to go. Everyone's going to try to get to the front as now he's going to have to push the 68. That is the 2 machine of Joshua Hanner towards the front of this one. A little bit of a bobble.
Got to make some moves.
Yeah,
got to make some moves.
A little bit of a bobble there towards the middle of the pack. Shuffle in as the 14 now is going to promote himself to the first car in that outside lane. Going to try and see what he can do to get to the front of this one. The 25, the 23, and the 3 machines on the inside. The 27, the 88, and the 81 in the middle lane. And the 14, the 2, and the 68. Your first 3 cars in each row is we've got 5 rows deep of 3 wide action now going with 19 laps to go.
You got plenty of racing left. They're just getting warmed up.
There are 20
At
cars, as
third,
we mentioned here, in this lead pack, and every single one of these drivers still has an opportunity to win this one, as we've got plenty laps to go with 18.
that third lane looks like it's carrying a lot of more momentum there, Boomer. It's Vicente and a 2-car, Joshua Hanner.
Making good progress on the top side of the speedway. As you see, they make a little bit of a disadvantage in the corners, but down the front straightaway, they're going to have a great run, as he's going to pull even within the 27, and he might even get this lap led here. We'll have to wait and see this time by. It's Vicente Guerrero
He's got it.
getting that lap led.
You know, we might see a full crossover, what Steven did the other. I have no idea.
We'll have to wait and see, but so far Steve Krosik's trying to control the race from that middle lane, as that outside lane is making a ton of headway. Vicente Guerrero is going to be clear, and he's going to drop down all the way to the bottom. Chris Vicini not quite able to get there, but that's going to put the 14 machine of Vicente Guerrero ahead of the 25 of Kevin Fries. Steve Krosik in the middle lane still working there. The 2 machine and the 68 machine on the outside losing a lot of momentum there, Matt.
Yeah, that's almost one of the byproduct of losing that third car, or looks like Hanner checked up a little bit.
I think they lost a lot of that momentum there, unfortunately, for the most part. So, well, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, as we got Caitlin Decker on board tonight. So we'll get a shot of Ryan Decker in that number 48 machine.
Look at that 81 machine. Look, Hanner's just pushing everybody to the front.
Go on board here in the middle of the pack with the right alongside the 48 machine here, as he's got the 10 of Bud Steele just ahead of him. The 1 of Chris Pacini inside there. 68 machine and the 28 of Carl Henderson, the inside of the 48 at the moment. You can see how dicey it gets here.
Yeah, we are going 4 wide here at Talladega. Oh, no.
4 wide for a moment there, as we got a car in the wall, and it looks like it's the 88 machine of Gabe Butler sliding to a stop. The 81 of Brandon Bernhardt as well. We'll pull that one up here for a replay and see how this one got started. 4 wide there for just a second, and not a lot of space, unfortunately. The 88 machine into the outside wall. The 14 machine also involved. The 99, as he checks up, gets into a little bit of the back of the 81 machine, and it looks like that's going to be everybody involved in that one. Just mainly 3 cars there, except for, the 11 car getting that late contact that you see on the apron, unfortunately. Not able to get out of the way of the sliding 14 machine. So it's the 81, the 88, the 14, and the 11 all involved in that wreck here with less than 20 laps to go. So now, Matt.
Wow.
What do you do? Do you pit? Do you get the tires? Do you get the fuel? You don't have to get fuel. Everyone's got enough to go the distance.
Hell no, I'm staying out.
All right, we'll see. It looks like, actually, now that we're looking at it again, Steve Krosa, Kevin Fries, and Sebastian Marin all last pitted on lap number 28. So that would be a decent amount of laps to go. That'd be with 42 laps to go to the finish. Now, we mentioned that we were told that fuel is somewhere around the 37, 38 lap range. So if they've got this yellow here, I would think that would be enough for them to make it the rest of the way. So who knows? Maybe Steve, Kevin, and Sebastian here might stay out. Brandon Paul in 5th and Joshua Hanner in 6th. Also last pitting on lap number 28. Has only looked like half the field pit under that last caution. So I think a lot of these guys are going to elect to stay out here. We'll see if anybody towards the further back in the pack is going to pit. As it is going to be the 26 car of Zachary Lima, the first car in on pit road after that caution. Nate Warren probably getting some damage taken care of. Austin Call, Ryan Kelly, Vicente Guerrero, and Brandon Bernhardt all in this time by.
Yeah, why not? It's
So just a few cars. Zachary Lima grabbing some fuel there, splash and go. But back on track, you see those drivers stuck into the inside, onto the apron, trying to go the shortest distance around the track in order to save as much fuel as they possibly can. Steve Karosik in that number 27 machine continuing to control this race in the later stages here. We'll be at, I think, 11 laps to go by the time we get back to the stripe and get this race restarted. But it'll be Steve Karosik, Kevin Freese, Sebastian Marin, Eric Laurie, Joshua Hanner, Brandon Paul, Bud Steele, Ryan Decker, and Chris Piscini, as well as David Overstreet in your top 10. Gael Brooks currently runs in the 11th position behind, in front of Adam Kilday, Zachary Lima, Nate Warren, Ryan Kelly, James Ledford, Vicente Guerrero, Brandon Bernhardt, and Austin Call. Gabe Butler, Carl Henderson, Jim Brooks. And it looks like our only retiree on the evening so far is the 08 machine of Bob Fitzgerald, so he will finish in the 23rd position this evening. And under caution here, we'll take a moment to save our voices, and we'll be right back for the restart of this race.
Yep, I'm trying these cards out right now. I'm not on track. Yeah. I am, but I'm in watch mode. I want to see how these cards fare and how easy they are to save. Actually, this car is not. I'm running in the third lane right now. Like, in between the line and the wall. I haven't missed the wall yet. It's pretty easy. But I don't know how it is in draft. So I'm seeing their gas mileage is 17. $37 laps. Okay. No, I'm seeing 17 gallons. That's where you're getting it. I think it's the right fuel. I think I have Gael pay me on old fashioned. You remember when Denny Hadley had his first start? Nope. His first official Joe Gibbs start in the Cup Series. No, it's not really. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I mean official, but his first start in 11 card, he actually won. Did you know that? He won at Daytona. He won the Bud Shootout.
Thanks, Kwame. We didn't realize mutes weren't working here, but we are back and underway with 11 laps to go here as the 27 machine of Steve Karosik takes the lead ahead of the 23 machine. Big gap on that inside lane back to that number 3. There's going to be a lot more momentum in that outside lane, as in the middle it's Eric Laurie pushing the 25 machine of Kevin Freese in the middle. The 2 and the 1 car teammates have found each other for closed circuit racing as they are going to lead that outside lane.
Yeah, that outside lane, you watch it. It's going to pay dividends. I kind of spoke a little bit too soon.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. There's definitely a lot of cars up there as we are now 6 rows deep, 3 wide action here at Talladega with 10 laps to go as they cross the stripe this time by. Everybody in this pack of 21 cars on the lead lap has the opportunity to win this race at this point. So definitely no more give and take. It is all take at this point, and everybody,
Oh, no, yeah.
everybody is going to be trying to win this one.
Oh, I don't blame the last move going 4 wide. You got to take some chances, but this track here, you got plenty of room to go 4 wide. But unfortunately, I don't think your iRacing spotter doesn't officially tell you 4 wide, and that's really tough.
We'll have to wait and see who does make that move, but as of right now, it is the 27 machine on the inside lane. Steve Karosik continuing to click off laps led here at the front of the field. Kevin Freese, you saw the move to the bottom after the restart. He is going to push his teammate there. The 071 of Eric Laurie, now the first car in the middle lane, being pushed by James Ledford of the 68. And the 2 and the 1 machines are slowly fading a little bit back on that outside lane. Not quite enough momentum there to keep those cars wound up on the outside right now.
You're trying to make that third lane work. It's just not really panning out for them.
Unfortunately, not so far, as the momentum there is in the inside lane and in the middle lane so far. Eric Laurie, that 071 machine, continuing to lead the middle lane. 27 of Steve Karosik. So far, pretty quiet after this restart, but you're going to see some guys trying to make some surges towards the front. Adam Kilday there is in the third car in the middle lane, as we see now the 10 of Bud Steele, the 48 of Ryan Decker trying to make their way back to the front of this pack. They are going to bring the 88 machine of Gabe Butler along as well, as they are ahead of the 2 and 1 teammates of Chris Passini and Joshua Hanner at the moment. On the inside lane is still the 27, the 25, the 23. You've got the 3 machine, as well as that's Brandon Paul, and the 71 machine of Gael Brooks there. The 26 machine there tucked in, 4th car in line behind Adam Kilday there in the middle, and the 68 machine there getting a little wide, almost making contact with the 10 there, but so far it is quiet. Definitely dicey, but quiet. Nobody making a lot of big moves. Everybody just trying to push what they can do their best with their line, trying to move forward, as the outside lane finally has good momentum with Bud Steele at the front of it. Bud Steele started this race at the beginning, had the issue to bring out the first yellow, getting onto the apron and spinning around early on, trying to make a good recovery at the end of this one, as we're going to be at 6 laps to go this time by.
You know, it is going to pick up here any momentarily.
Starting to pick up for sure. A little bit of a loss of momentum there in the middle lane, as the 25 machine of Kevin Freese now going to pull up in front of his teammate Eric Laurie, trying to command that middle lane, as the 2 Team Bootnaka drivers on the inside lane of the 27 and the 23 continue to try and control from there. Bud Steele trying to make a bit. Oh, Ryan Decker there, get a little bit loose, and behind them there's going to be a wreck.
Oh, God. Yep, that should be a caution flag. No yellow? Wow,
No.
you got to be kidding me. Yep, there it is.
Yep, yeah. Admin thrown yellow for sure there. We're going to have our 6th caution of the race. We'll take a moment here to see if we can pull that replay up, but it was definitely the moves of the 48 there. Not sure if the 88 machine got into the back of him or what, but we will take a moment to take a look at that. As you see here, by the time the replay pulls up, we are well into it, so we'll just take the rewind button there and find our way through this one. Maybe let's see if we can watch off the nose of the 88 machine and see if we can find out what went wrong with this one. See if we can grab the 88 machine of Gabe Butler here, getting to the end of the straightaway. 48 machine got a little bit loose here, but wasn't really making any contact there, and it looks like the 88 machine just checks up, gets into the back of him just a little bit. And then at this point, they're pretty much almost 4 wide through the track, but the 88 machine then just I mean, pretty much just getting a shot from behind, unfortunately, as there really wasn't anywhere else to go as they were checking up. Nobody lifting here at the end of this one, and it looks like the 2 machine there is going to make some contact with the back of the 88. These cars lift up so hard when you get into the back of them. That nose is like a wedge. It just drives the back or the back of that car off the front of the ground.
Yeah, I got a feeling like you probably didn't expect that huge checkup.
Yeah, I did not expect that at all, I guarantee. So we will see. We're going to approach 5 laps to go. I think we're going to have a green, white checkered here, depending on how we get back going. But the 25 machine of Kevin Freese edging out Steve Karosik there on that green flag run there as the caution flag flew. A couple cars on pit lane this time by Gabe Butler, Ryan Decker, Chris Passini, and Carl Henderson. And we'll be right back in just a moment for that restart. All right, we are back live. So it is going to be a green, white checkered as we take the restart here. It'll be,
Not officially a green white checker, but
yeah, a natural green
a
white
natural.
checkered. Yeah. That's kind of cool to see. You don't typically see that too often, but we've got 3 attempts here on Green White Checkered TV in the Area 51 League to have a final green flag finish to this race. So we'll see if we can get it done in the first Green White Checkered or if we're going to have to settle it in the second or in the third, but it's going to be Kevin Freese controlling that inside lane with teammate Eric Laurie in the 071. Just behind him, Steve Karosik, who has spent most of the day at the front of this one. He is going to be controlling that outside lane with Sebastian Marin behind him as we are making our way through the tri-oval, getting into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air at Talladega Superspeedway. We've got 2 laps to decide this one. Into turn number 1, the 23 machine is locked onto the back bumper of that 27. But so is the 071 all over the back of the 25 of Kevin Freese. Coming down the back straightaway, still 2 wide action. Nobody trying to pull out into that third lane just yet. Taking it back actually to Zachary Lima here. He is going to be that first one in the outside lane being pushed by the 64 of Austin Call.
Look who we see. We're the first time we've seen Gael Brooks toward the front here. Look here, the 4th car in the second lane. Really helped that 3 car to push in the third lane. We'll find out here as the cars come down here to the start-finish line here, taking the white flag.
1 to go. The 27 machine going to take that as he leads the field there in the middle lane. The 23 behind him, the 3 car and the 71 of Gael Brooks. Nose to tail in that middle lane. The 25, the 071, and the 68 on the inside. Gael Brooks is going to make the move to the high side. He's going to be picked up by the 26 of Zachary Lima. See what they have as a 3. He's also going to make his way to the top side.
Well, 3 car moves to the outside. That's smart.
Blinking there down the backstretch. Hopefully that doesn't mess up anything for them. That's unfortunate that he is going to be definitely impeding that outside lane there with that internet connection tonight. Unfortunately, no one's going to be able to get going in that outside lane, but it's going to be the 25 machine on the inside with the 071, the 27, and the 23 in the middle lane. Here they come through the tri-oval. There's going to be a wreck. The 071 is going to spin through the infield, but it's going to be the 27 of Steve Karosik getting it done.
Absolutely. He said that was his absolute dominant performance by Steven there. Really awesome job.
I was absolute chaos there at the end too, but definitely a great race run for Steve Karosik. Sebastian Marin coming home in the 2nd place. Adam Kilday in 3rd. Kevin Freese, Ryan Decker, your top 5. David Overstreet, Ryan Kelly, Bud Steele, James Ledford, and Zachary Lima, your top 10 for the evening. As these drivers make their way back to the front stretch and pit road, we are going to be pulling up drivers for interviews in just a second. Starting with our last driver on the podium tonight. That was Adam Kilday, who had a very great recovery. So we'll try and see if we can pull him up into the booth.
What a race.
Yeah, a great race indeed.
Man, see if we can find some guys.
Yeah, we're looking for Adam Kilday, but don't see him at the moment. See if he'll jump on in just a second here, but that means next up will be the number 23 machine of Sebastian Marin. Oh, nope, actually, just kidding. Adam is here. We got him in the booth now. All right, we'll pull Adam up. So, Adam, definitely a bit of an up and down night for you tonight, but made your way back up to the 3rd position at the end of this one. Take us through how that race went for you tonight.
Yeah, I think the first caution I got involved in that wreck at the end. I guess someone went down below the yellow, tried coming back up, and got a little slideways, and I didn't know how to predict that one. He just came right up into me at the tail end and pushed in my whole front end. Had to use a fast repair and really majority of the race, I was just kind of hanging back, waiting for more wrecks to happen, trying to keep my last life going as long as I could. And
Smart play.
yeah, I made my way back up like a couple times. I got Vicente up to the front once, and then I didn't have nobody in front of me on the high side, so I fell all the way back to the back of the pack and tried pushing my way forward again. And right as I got back up front, another wreck happened right on my front bumper that I had no clue how I avoided that one. But up to the very end, I was uh, tailing the two cars in the middle, and they just got a run up on the white flag lap. And I saved it to the very end before the start finished to try to go outside to maybe make a move, but there was nobody up there to help me from behind. So I'm actually surprised I got third. I thought I got fourth, to be honest.
Hey, you gotta take him when you get him. But unofficially, looks like you both. I have to go back get through the iRacing files, but you guys finished 0.115, both the same exact uh time crossing the line here. It is so close. Like you barely got right in front of Kevin there.
Oh man, that's crazy. Oof. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun night. I enjoy doing these races. I'm just here to chill, hang out, and don't matter if I win or not. But I just want to clean super speedway races overall.
Yeah,
So it definitely outbeats the hosted super speedways by a long
Oh,
shot.
you
for
ain't
sure.
never lied.
So yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely seemed like we had a couple long green flag stretches there, and a couple times maybe 10, 15 laps at a time. Not really anything worth a full fuel run, but were you expecting to have that much action as far as yellows go tonight, or were you kind of hoping it would go green the whole way?
Um, I was expecting a few yellows to happen off and on in the ARCA cars, especially, but wasn't really expecting a green flag stop. So that's for sure. These cars had a lot of fuel in the tank.
Definitely. Well, cool. Well, congratulations, Adam, for that podium placing. Definitely a good run to get back up to the front of this one. Want to give you a chance to give any thanks and shout outs for that podium placing. It looks like you're the highest climber here tonight as well, by up 21 positions in the night. So, want to give you that floor to give any thanks and shout outs for that podium place.
I'll shout out Glenn Sidman and the guys at the Simability. They make custom hand controls for people with physical disabilities, and
That's awesome.
without them, they give everyone an opportunity to enjoy the iRacing service and get what they can out of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. If you ever guys, speaking of disabilities, you ever check out the Real Handy on Twitch? He drives with just his, I think it was just his feet. Is that what I'm saying correctly?
Man. Yeah, I never heard of him.
Yeah, not too
Yeah,
familiar
check
either.
him, check him out. Yeah, check him
Yeah,
out. He is awesome. What he does,
yeah,
just disabilities. That guy's awesome. Yeah, watch him.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
his Twitch tag was what again?
The Real Handy.
Alrighty, I'll definitely give him a gander.
Yeah, good deal. Well, definitely a noble cause and a great sponsor to have on board for you, Adam. And congratulations once again on that third place finish. Have a good rest of your night, sir.
And thank you all so much.
All right, so that was Adam in the number 41 machine. We've got another interview here with, you know, someone who's a little bit familiar with super speedway racing here. That's second place earner or spot earner Sebastian
Third.
Marin in that number 23 machine. Take us through how that race went for you tonight, Sebastian.
The race went pretty well, but besides getting or having getting quite significant amount of damage in one of those early wrecks. Besides that, it went pretty well. Just stayed out front. Was trying to stay committed with my teammates and keep my track position as much as I could. and trying to stay in positions that would be the most beneficial with the vehicle that I had, because I did have a minute optional, so I couldn't really lead at all. So I was trying to be the pusher at all costs, not really wanting to be leading at all. So that's how I ended up there behind my teammate Steve. I tried making a move, but I didn't want to risk anything. Plus, with my damage, I don't think I would have completed the pass anyways. But besides that, the race went well. Couldn't have asked for anything better, and looking forward to next week. Next week should be a lot of fun. We're road course racing, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that is the case at Watkins Glen next week. So, yeah, take us through. So I know it seemed like you mentioned that you had that damage, so you didn't actually take your fast repair, it sounds like, and were you just hoping to maybe use that in a later caution, or did you take your fast repair and then get the damage? Remind us how that went.
Yeah, I got it by, I think, before lap 10. I got my minute optional, and yeah, I didn't want to use it so early because early on in the race it kind of felt like we were trying to figure out how each other raced, so we had quite a lot of early yellows, and I didn't want to use it in case late in the race I got caught up in a wreck. So I was just saving it, but I didn't get caught up in any other wrecks, so I didn't get a chance to use it, but I had it in my back pocket just in case.
Yeah, definitely good recovery there for sure. Obviously, unfortunate they couldn't make any moves with that damage, but still able to get that teammate pushed to the win there, and Steve. And I know that's kind of a little bit of the mantra of Team Bootnaka sometimes, or most of the time, is to try and make sure that no matter what, one of your teammates gets to the front. And pretty much saw you guys control most of, saw you controlling like the middle and the inside lane most of the race, or at least one or two or three of you guys teammates there. Definitely seems like you guys have a pretty solid team mentality when it comes to this playoff style, or sorry, not playoff, plate racing style of racing.
Yeah, we definitely work really well together. We know what it takes to be efficient, and how to be competitive, and have the best outcome for the team. So yeah, definitely that's probably one of the best bunch of guys I could race with on super speedways. So I wouldn't trade them for anything else.
Well said. Very well said. Because
I've seen it firsthand as for me, but how do you feel about road racing in these cars coming up here next week?
To be honest, I haven't done a lot, and judging by the little I did with the Arca car, which is obviously the Gen 4 is the Arca car, but with just more power. I'd say it's gonna be fun but challenging, especially obviously having that much power.
Uh-huh.
People aren't gonna be used to how slick, to be honest, a car is gonna be. So it'll be a handful for sure. I think that race might be just a race of attrition. If you can just keep it clean, you'll have a good day.
Yeah, I kind of figured you would say something like that. Sebastian, second place here tonight. Any thanks and shout outs you would like to do for our fine folks?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to all the many teammates I had for that race. I'll thank Dude, Eric, Gabe, Zach, and Steve, and Eric for just running together. We have a good time. Worked really well together. So shout out to them. Shout out to you guys for this broadcast. Always really good to rewatch the replays, see how the race went, see it from a different vantage point, or see the wrecks that maybe we missed. So yeah, and again, shout out to Area 51 for running these cars. I like them a lot. So can't wait for next week. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I know you're running a 3-week top 2 streak now, so have to see how you do there at Watkins Glen. Best of luck to you, Sebastian.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. We've got one more here. Matt's going to pull in our next driver, so why don't you go ahead and introduce him, Matt?
Mr. Steve Korosek. Pretty dominant out there today. How do you feel winning that race from pretty much from start to finish?
I feel good about it. It was a fun race, and it was just very competitive. Lots of 3 wide and good pushes. Everyone seemed pretty aware, so I can't complain, man. It's a really good race.
So you did have your momentarily did have your Dale Cup teammate Zach up there momentarily. It looks like passing was a little bit tough for some of the guys, but for you, you just made it look so easy.
Yeah, I think you just gotta practice the side drafting a little bit, and you could kind of manipulate the lines. You know.
Yeah, it seems like for the most part you guys were really able to control each lane from the middle, mostly the middle and the bottom, but it didn't seem like the top lane really got going there too much throughout the race. But you guys, for the most part, I mean, seen a lot of good coordination from Team Bootnaka and all the drivers that run with you guys throughout the throughout the different Area 51 leagues here. But seemed like you guys pretty much had a strategy to try and control every lane for almost all of the race.
Yeah, the strategy is always to stay up front. Excuse me. And it's just once you're up there, you try and stay up there, and it just worked out for us like that. So we'll take it when we can get it.
Yeah. Seemed like at one point you dropped back for just a little bit there, and I couldn't remember exactly when that was in the race, but pretty quickly found your way back up to the front. I can't remember, was there a caution that you were involved in, or no? Am I remembering that incorrectly?
No, I just got trapped on the inside, and the lane was dropping, so I had to move up to the middle in the high lane, and I started to go back up that way. I think I dropped back to maybe like 15th or something on the top, and when the caution came out, and I came out 7th. So I was just able to get back to it after the restart and was able to keep it up front.
Yeah. Definitely always the goal is always to get back to the front there and try to control that race from the front, which, I mean, like I said, you guys did pretty well. So are you looking forward to? Obviously, we're gonna go from Super Speedway racing to road course racing next week. Are you feeling excited about that, or do you prefer some of the Super Speedway style of racing?
Super Speedway is my favorite, but I like road course and short tracks too. I don't do them as often, so I got some practice to do, but I plan on running it. This is a fun league. Area 51 has always been good. They've been around for years.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. I personally won't be here for Watkins Glen, but hope to catch you on the broadcast and watch you next week and see how it goes for you. But before we let you go here, I want to give you the floor to have any thanks or shout outs for that win you had here tonight.
Yeah, shout out to Area 51 for putting it on. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Can't wait to watch it back after the race. And shout out to my team, Dale Cup, and all the drivers tonight. It was a good show. It was a lot of fun.
Fun for us to watch as well in the booth. So we appreciate your time, Steve, and wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You as well. All right. We've got,
Well, Boomer.
yeah, we've got some results to pull up.
Yeah. Yep.
Take a second here as we get to those race results. Remember, you already know we talked to the first 3 drivers and went through some of it at the end of the race there. There we go. Just wanted to update there, but yeah. So, do you know if it's? I didn't ask, but is it Korosic or
Corosic.
Korosic? Okay, Korosic. Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of how I say it, but yeah.
No, you're fine.
Korosic. All right. So Sebastian Marin
Corosic.
coming home in second place, and Adam Kilday there in third. Kevin Freese in that number 25 machine was our pole sitter, but he's going to come home fourth on the evening. Ryan Decker with a solid finish as he comes home last car in the top 5 tonight. David Overstreet in that 68 machine for Checkered Flag Motorsports in the 6th position. Ryan Kelly in that number 13 machine in the 7th spot. Bud Steele in the 10 car coming home 8th. after that early incident. Good recovery for Bud Steele for a solid top 10 finish. And James Ledford, he was caught up, I believe, in the last yellow, if not the second to last yellow. So great recovery for him to finish up in the 9th spot. And Brandon Paul, we saw a little bit of internet connection issues on that restart, but still a solid showing in 10th place for the evening. Zachary Lima will come home 11th in that number 26 machine, followed by Brandon Bernhardt, Gael Brooks, Nate Warren, and Austin Call to round out your top 15. Vicente Guerrero led a couple laps, but wasn't meant to be at the end of it. He's going to finish 16th, as Gabe Butler also involved in some late cautions, going to finish in the 17th position, as well as Chris Bassini in 18th. Last page of the results here we will pull up. And we've got Jim Brooks there in the 51 machine, finishing in 19th. Some damage there towards the later stages of that race, as well as Carl Henderson still on the lead lap, but quite a bit off the pace, unfortunately. Eric Laurie in 21st was the first car 1 lap down. Joshua Hanner was 6 laps down in 22nd. Bob Fitzgerald retiring 18 laps before the finish. And then Dude Conrad and Maxwell Caldwell practicing tonight, but not making the field. So that will do it for us tonight here at Talladega. We've got a pretty solid show, I'm betting, next week for you to see at Watkins Glen, as we already mentioned. So if you want to see that first bit of right-hand turn racing on Green White Checker TV and Area 51 for the season, make sure you check that out next week, June 15th. That'll be Watkins Glen, followed by Atlanta Superspeedway on June 22nd to round out our last race of the regular season. Didn't have our act together to pull up the playoff picture before this one tonight, so hopefully we'll have that for you before the next one. Then we'll take a couple weeks off here as we get into middle of July at Las Vegas. So the 13th we'll be back to start our playoffs before we go to Auto Club, Nashville Superspeedway, and Homestead 4 weeks in a row to crown our champion here in the Thursday Night Gen 4 Series for the 2023 Season 2. Going to have more action on the track on Sunday nights as well. The next race will be June 11th at iRacing Superspeedway. That is this Sunday, so be sure to stop on by here at Green White Checker TV and check that one out. And they'll be doing the gambit of iRacing Superspeedway, Daytona, Atlanta Motor Speedway, and Talladega back-to-back all season long as they run through that Superspeedway series in the Xfinity car on Sunday nights. So, yeah, definitely a chaos-filled race. Lots of cautions, but still had some good 10 to 15 lap runs in there, Matt. What's your biggest takeaway from the action tonight?
Well, that being these these drivers are the first time on the super speedway with these cars, but no, they're no different from the other cars that we run here at Area 51. It's the cars that stayed out of trouble finished best, as you can say. But Steve did a hell of a job staying up front the whole entire race, man. And he come home with a win. He's got to feel pretty good.
Definitely, yeah. That was a very great run for him.
But we're going road course racing next week, and that is going to be very tough for some of these guys.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely going to be a different skill set, and it's always cool to see some of the drivers who have those different abilities. Obviously, a lot of guys in the field who have super speedway skills. There's an art form to this kind of racing that we saw tonight. There's an art form to just about every other oval that we see on the series, and then obviously Watkins Glen, a little bit of that other wild card there. So definitely an opportunity for some guys who are better at something different there to get a win for the season. So have to wait and see how that one shakes out. But I think that'll pretty much do it for us here at Green White Checker TV. For myself, Boomer Logan, and my teammate Matt Wagner, we hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.